Doug Farmer again. Tosh, they cut it, I think, to 3 in the fourth, and you had the back-to-back three-point plays, and then I think defensive play on the other end to steal the ball and go the other way. Is that kind of your welcome to New York moment that got the crowd nuts and got you guys that lead you needed to secure the victory?
Yeah, I came out of the next huddle and Sue was like, "How you like this crowd?" And I was like, honestly, I thought I got a charge the way I started screaming. But no, it's electrifying. I always understood as an opponent that the crowd here and the fans, it's a six-man on the court at all times. They have the ability to shift momentum at any given moment, and when it's on your side, it's really refreshing and nice because it gives you that extra energy you need. But within 3, I wasn't worried. We have enough on this team. It was just about us getting stops down the stretch.
Alexa?
Stewie, kind of on that note, being in this game with Tosh and seeing what she was able to do, especially this energy shifter and plays down the stretch, I mean, what did you see from her and how she can continue to bring that throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really what I've touched on throughout entire training camp is her versatility. You know, her ability to get down and attack the rim. We're putting her in great spots to kind of succeed and read the defense and then defensively just being everywhere, you know, pressuring the fact that we're going to continue to build that chemistry, but switching in a number of different ways and just making it hard for Vegas. Like, we have a ton of respect for them, and we know that they're all great players, but Tasha's just an added piece to really kind of get up in them.
Sorry, let's see what
Hey.
Hey, good.
Hey. First of all, Sandy, you look great. I have to compliment you after you complimented us, so you look great.
Oh, thanks, guys. Danielle Kalmeyer, so if you want some outfits.
Well, that's a good drop.
She actually wants to outfit you. So
Wait, Coach, is today kind of like a coach's dream for the first game? 27 assists, the ball's moving, defense was all over the place, the crowd was what it was as well. Just as a coach, you know, was today kind of the perfect situation?
Yeah, no, it was great. You know, there's some imperfect situations, but that's the part of the game one learnings that we have, a bit of that chemistry. But, you know, that's a tough opponent. We know that. We have great rivalry, we have great respect for them. But to come out and play the defense that we did, we had some breakdowns. Rebounding was probably my biggest issue there, the possession gains. But overall, I thought we played a really good game, and it's something that we'll continue to build on over these next weeks.
Sorry, where's the microphone?
Oh.
Yeah, Brian, please.
Okay. Now, hi, everybody. Sandy, a lot of great bench minutes today. Kennedy, Niara, Marie gave you some good minutes. What stood out the most to you from watching the second unit today?
What did I like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I've talked about this depth moving forward. Like, they've had really good training camps, and we can go in so many different ways. We can go with the big lineup with Niara in there. I thought Kennedy Burt gave us a real great spark for us, and she's very versatile. And you know, I talked about her having a great camp, and I think that's translating to today. Marine gave us good minutes. We know that we'll keep getting bigger and better once we get a little bit more chemistry. You know, Rebecca Gardner too. I didn't get her in as much. It was a big game, but I know we have full confidence in her as well to come in and be impactful. And so we're excited just how, you know, we have 5 days before the next game. How, you know, build up. You know, we've got Chicago and Indiana. That'll be a good test for us.
Hi all. Stewie, first for you, take me through how you were able to
flip the switch after the ring ceremony. You know, that was a very special ceremony for you. You brought both of your kids. How were you able to do that?
Well, I think honestly the entire time, knowing that you know, what we're doing right now is a reflection and an appreciation for last season, and obviously very excited to see the rings. But once we walked off that court, it was like, all right, stay in the now, because this team is hungry and they want to come after us with everything that they got. And I thought we did a great job blocking in. You know, there's moments where we kind of lose it and we bring each other back together and get it done.
And Natasha, for you, when the team came back together and they had to lock in, you know, how were you able to bring everyone together?
Honestly, I didn't bring everyone together. I think this team is very professional. I think I've talked a lot in training camp about keeping the main thing, and I think they did a good job tonight of being in the moment, being where their feet are, and accepting the rings. But like you said, switching that switch, and it was time to go. They can celebrate now. After we get the dub, they can have all the celebration now. But this is about keeping the main thing, and the main thing was aces today.
Natasha, you and Sandy were both saying before the game, well, it's going to take time. We're going to need some patience. We're going to need some grace. And then you go off the way you did in this game. When in the game did you know it was really clicking?
I think for me in training camp, everyone's kind of giving me the confidence to like, I got to go and I got to be myself. That's a responsibility that I take for myself as the point guard. If I'm not being aggressive and trying to get to the basket, then I'm not really effective for this team. But once I'm aggressive in the beginning, I can get to what I ultimately want, which is to set my teammates up for easy shots. So that's just my mindset. I want to be that for us every single night on both ends of the floor, of just like that energy person. So that's my commitment to this organization, this team, every single night.
One very quick, lighthearted follow-up. In the starting lineups, they announced you as being from Philadelphia, not Broomall.
You already know what it is. I told them to put it in there. I still love you, New York, but I'm very proud of where I come from.
Would you prefer the city or the suburb when they announced Philadelphia or Delco? Or
Well, I played St. Joe's basketball is in West Philly, so that makes it Philly, doesn't it? Yeah, okay.
Natasha, when we talked at practice, you had mentioned the importance of sending a message, using this game to send a message to the league. What message do you think you guys sent today?
That we're focused. Again, they did a really great job of winning last year, first ever. But like Coach Sandy said, it's going to be one of many, right, that we try to go after. And that's the goal for this season. So you refocus and you shift your focus into now and where your feet are today.
And then Stewart, just Breanna, really quick. We know that you've said a few times that you were 100% and that everything was cautionary, ramp up. But how do you, or are you not 100%? What does that look for?
She look 100%?
I'm 100%.
I know, but that's my question, was just any type of concern there might have been over you. It feels like you made that vanish just with preseason and then today.
Yeah. No. I'm definitely 100%. I think there was, we just had a little back and forth with a minute restriction, but we were in a good place. 27 is not bad.
We like that.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Okay, we bumped it up just a little bit.
Okay, congrats on the win, everybody. Tasha, I've seen and experienced firsthand how much fans loved you in Washington and Phoenix, and now after one game, how much they love you in New York. What is it about your game that makes you such a fan favorite?
I think the similarities of Philly and New York is we really just appreciate players that come in, they play hard, they give everything they got every single night, and we're gritty. We get it out the mud. That's just what it is, and I think that's how I play. So I feel the appreciation. I'm going to keep doing it. I appreciate y'all real bad.
Okay, and then for Stewie, you all were moving the ball really well today in your first regular season game together. How do you develop the patience, discipline, and trust necessary to really play that way?
Yeah, I think a lot of it carries over from what we built and then adding new pieces. But, if anybody's been to our training camp, you see the way the ball is moving in practice. And, we're passing up good shots to get great shots and knowing, late possession, late in the shot clock, like what are we trying to run? And everybody has that same mindset and mentality.
Annie Costable, Front Office Sports. Breanna, reaction to the ring when you first saw it?
Well, I saw it before, so I had a sneak peek. But honestly, my reaction was, wow, it's so big. It was like, it's so big and so shiny. Like, Teo wanted to touch it, and I was like, you are not taking this because I don't know what you're going to do with it next. But there's so many details that, honestly, I didn't have a chance to look at that I want to, whenever we're done here.
Did you help, design it? What do you mean when you say you saw it?
Just kind of dealing with Clara a little bit and her just asking opinions on the details.
Okay, sorry, one more. This isn't your first. How does it compare?
Like
to
what?
your other rings?
The way it looks or what?
All around. The size, diamonds.
It's definitely bigger than my other two. But each one is special. I think that the rings, for me personally, they're not meant to be worn. And they're going to create a great collection later.
You're going to be like Gino?
At my house. Yeah. All right. They're going to go in a safe. All right.
Yeah. I was like, and they're not going to be there tomorrow. All right.
Hey, Sandy up front. There was a lot of driving lanes created in the first half and second half. Forced Aces to make some decisions whether to stay home or to help. Some decisions they didn't. Is that kind of what you're envisioning with this 5-out offense for this team?
Yeah, are you talking about Vegas's defense, how we could get to the rim? Yeah, no, look, obviously we were 4 from 21 from the 3-point line, but they really were making staying at home a little bit more. We knew Asia was going to come into the paint, but to get 56 points in the paint, that's great for us. I think what Tash gives to us, how they defended us, that's what we'll preaching. Let's get into the paint and then finish or fine. And for the most part, we had 27 assists too. So, I'm really happy with that. We gave up some layups. So I know Leo drove in and splashed it out. We want to be aggressive to the rim, and it certainly helps, obviously, with these two players here. And obviously, JJ, we got her established down low. But it's just reading defenses and taking what defense gives us.
Hey, Tosh. In the first quarter, I think you were like 1 of 5, maybe a turnover, but
Yeah, I
missed
was
a
like
couple
throwing
layups.
alley-oops off the backboard. Yeah.
I think they hit the rim. But were you encouraged by that start, just the fact that you were living in the paint, even though the results weren't what you wanted at first? Did it feel like a precursor to, I guess, what you were able to do in the second half?
Yeah, I always want to try to get 2 feet in the paint. If I can try to engage 2, then I have really amazing offensive players around me that are weapons at every position. So the goal is to always get 2 feet in the paint. With how defenses are going to play me, right, they're probably going to put the weakest defender on me most of the time. They're going to stay home on Stewie, JJ, Sab. So that creates all those lanes for me. Now if they commit, I get to do what I want to do, which is spray the ball out. But in the meantime, just taking the accountability of getting to the rim.
Hello all, congrats on the win. I have one for Breanna, one for Tosh. Breanna, when you see that banner raised into the Barclays Center rafters, and you're going to look at that every day for the rest of your Liberty career, what does having that undeniable piece of history mean to you? And for Tosh, when you see a ceremony like that, how does that inspire you, and how does that inspire you to kind of push forward and do what you've been hired to do, basically?
I think it just creates a standard for anybody that comes into Barclays, whether it's us playing or the Nets or whoever, the fans, like championship mindset and mentality for everybody amongst this franchise. And it's a special thing, I think it was incredible, and I've been looking forward to having this moment of celebrating with the fans just because they deserve it too. But that's what you're going to see every time you come in here is like our why and why we're doing things and why we're continuing to be better for this season.
I think the same. No, you're good, Brian. I think the same thing. It's a standard. I understood that with coming here to New York, and I want to be a part of that standard. It's really hard to win a championship, and every piece is so important to that success. So I just want to be a part of it. That's all I ever wanted to do was add to this organization.
Appreciate your time and insight for you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, over here, kind of on that same thing for Coach and Stewie. This is kind of the last piece of, closing out last year's championship puzzle. Is there any different emotion you get from, the parade or the rings or anything, but then finally seeing the banner?
Yeah, just all the hard work that we went through last year to get there. We know it was a tight series, but just, we accomplished our goal. And it was great to see the rings. I hadn't seen it. So it was great to see the rings and be a part with our fans, because that's what it's all about. I suppose for me as coach, I was already like, okay, let's go. Let's play this game. I'm excited. I'm excited about this team that we have here. Yes, our goal is to win another championship, but it's a long way to go. It's more about playing in the right way. And just getting Tash in there has been just adds. So excited. It's going to be hard, but let's embrace the hard.
Last ring ceremony question, I swear. Piggybacking off of what Perry said, it's kind of the icing on the cake, right? We saw the confetti fall in the fall, and the ring, seeing the banner go up into the rafters is just kind of the last element. And Tosh, you mentioned how this fan base, it feels like, a sixth man. What was it like that, just being in that moment with this fan base?
It was really special. I think that, everyone's routine got a little bit messed up today because of all the things happening, but you wouldn't want it any other way. You want to be able to appreciate and enjoy the moment and celebrate with one another, with the fans, with family. So I mean, it's just something that we've been looking forward to ever since the parade, ever since, we won the opportunity of being back with our fans, because it's like, you're on the street and you're seeing them and they're saying, go Liberty, and we can't wait for the next season. And now we're here, so we're able to close that chapter of last season and open a new one right with them right away.
Hey, Breanna, over here, second row. Sandy alluded to the points in the paint, but I wanted to call out the fourth quarter specifically. You guys shot 10 for 12 in the paint in the fourth, and you held the Aces to 5 for 16.
Yeah.
What did you make of the shot selection that it was the two of you, mostly you and Tosh, going downhill a lot in that fourth quarter, but also just the scramble defense and just how everyone was really buckling down in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, so I mean they were 4 guards. So anytime that they're doing that with our 4, well, I'm not a guard, but whatever. With our lineup, we're able to switch a lot. So switching means, you're going to constantly have somebody in your face. So defensively, we were able to disrupt and definitely shade towards Asia a little bit. And then offensively, the same. Because they had 4 guards, most likely they're switching. And it gives, sometimes it's two people to the ball and then one person's closing out and JJ ends up wide open underneath. But moving the ball. We had moments in the third where it became a little bit of ISO, a little bit of too much of trying to create something. With our offense, the ball will find openings and get people good looks at the basket.
Hey, ladies, congratulations, all of you. Natasha, this is for you. You are a WNBA champion, like all the other Liberty, but unlike today, you didn't get a chance to have that ceremony at home because it was the bubble in 2020. What were your emotions like seeing all the light shows and fireballs that you would have been able to have in 2020?
Yeah, someone asked me that like a week ago if I ever got a parade, and I've never got to experience like an actual championship. I've won one. I have a nice ring. It's not at my house. It's with my mama because I know better than to keep it myself. But yeah, that for me, as an outsider, even watching them win last year and to seeing how big it was for the city, right, to win its first ever for an organization, for Stewie to come home to New York and do it. Those are all big things. For Sab to win her first one, like JJ, who has been going after it for all these years. You can't help but be happy for your teammates, right? And when you're happy for your teammates and you celebrate them, I always feel like good karma's going to come back around. So I sit there, I boast them up on the pedestals that they should be, and then we right back to it because I want to win one too. And I'm trying to celebrate, I'm trying to do all that.
Why can't you trust with the ring?
I mean, I know there's insurance on it. I'm just good for like placing it somewhere and being like, damn, where I put that at? So my mama got it. She look at it, I walk into her room, I'll be like, let me look at it one time before I start the season. And then that's it. She knows better too.
Hey, congrats on the win today. So Tosh, I have a question for both Tosh and Stewie. So Tosh, you played with some Hall of Famer type bigs in the league, Elena Deladon, Emma Meeseman, PG. Now you're with Stewie and JJ. How would you define this new relationship? And then Stewie, you played with some of the best point guards ever. Super, Sloot, now Tosh.
Yeah, I tried to recruit Stewie to Washington like years ago, and she definitely told me no. So I was a little bummed then. But in all seriousness, the elite level of play that Stewie plays at, and to do it as unselfish as she is like one of the best feelings that you can have in your franchise player, right? What differs her from anyone else that I played with is she's saying she's not a guard, but she has the most guard-like skills that I've had the pleasure of playing with. So that makes my job a lot easier. So even in the fourth quarter, you're saying that we were involved in a lot of the actions because we knew that Chelsea had 4 fouls, that they weren't going to switch off. So we're putting her. Yeah, they were 5. It was 5. Yeah, it was 5. It was 5. My bad. But no, she's just so versatile. She can score at all 3 levels. She can also dribble the ball. I can go set screens for her, do whatever. So the versatility of what makes Stewie great, and then the unselfishness of who she is our franchise player. It's a blessing to play with. You hope to play with that as a point guard.
And Stewie?
The other, vice versa. I mean,
I love Stu and Sloot too. So like, you know.
I mean, they're definitely all very, very different. But I think one of the things that really excited me most about Tosh was like her size. You know what I mean? Because it's not only the point guard, but it's the ability to do like multiple things. She talks about my versatility, and I want to talk about hers. And like offensively, defensively, for us to continue to build that chemistry and playing with one another. And she's unselfish. You know, she knows when to find her teammates, and she knows when to kind of call her own number and use the length and the size that she has to really dictate what she wants offensively.
Can I?
Stewie.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Stewie, congratulations, everyone.
I know it's not the first time, but how did it feel to go up against Jewel and seeing her on a new team? How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, Jewel and I, we've like gone through it all together. We've grown up together. So that's one of my great friends. And it's weird seeing her in Vegas because honestly, like when I was in Seattle, it was like us in Vegas. So now it's like, you know, us in Vegas, and now she's on Vegas. So it's a little bit weird. But I'm happy for her. I know she's going to really find her rhythm, and excited to see what she does there on the strip.
Tosh, I had a follow-up. Becky Hammond described your game as relentless. Where do you pull that from?
I feel like I've been an underdog my entire career. I was a player that even when I got drafted into the W, people didn't think I deserved to be here. I was a second-round draft pick. And then I just kind of found my way. But I think it's a testament to my parents and how they raised me and my 5 siblings. My dad worked 2 jobs to keep a roof over our head. My mama worked and came home and took care of all of us. So how do you not get it out the mud? How do you not go after it every single day when that's your upbringing? That's your reality of every single day. So very thankful to my environment that I grew up in. They were actually able to be here today, which was really cool for me. So I'm just really happy all around to be here. But I'm going to bring that every single night.
Coach, in the second half of the game when the Aces started to come back 50 to 55, what was your message to the team?
Yeah, I think Stewie alluded to it there. We stopped the ball. The ball stopped moving. It was more isolation play. They took the pace out of us. We didn't come with urgency out of the locker room, and we had spoken about it, and it's something we'll continue to work on. We were up. Complacency against a great team, you can't have that. But I thought we found it back. I mean, we got it back by, getting back to how we want to play at both ends of the floor, and then we could flip it in the fourth quarter, and persistence. And it helps when I have veteran players. They kind of get it. They know it. I mean, I can say it. They know it before I even tell them what we need to do. So it's just take a breath and reset, and let's get back to who we really are. That's got us the lead in that first half.
Take 2 more in the room. Guys. Question for each player, if that's okay. For Natasha Cloud, very impactful game defensively overall, but really popped with you as a helper around the rim. Just what kind of work goes into nailing that kind of help responsibility over and over again?
Honestly, I've been over helping in practice a lot, so I'm very happy that I wasn't over helping tonight. But again, that speaks to the versatility of this team. I think previously in my career, I've had to over help, and with this team, I don't have to. So it makes my job a lot easier. But defense is, to me, pride. At the end of the day, it's pride in KYP, which is knowing your personnel. So if I'm going to be on Jackie, I know that she wants to go right hand. She's going to pull threes if I'm backing up and backpedaling. It's just kind of understanding what your matchup is and picking your moments where you can be impactful and kind of try to disrupt. So I know that's where I hang my hat mostly. I know offensively, whatever today, but the defense is that's my bread and butter.
Gotcha. And for Stewie, just kind of what goes into your reads as a screener, knowing when to set a hard screen and when to slip out, because you got to open a lot of those.
Honestly, it's who's guarding me. So if it's going to end up being a guard-to-guard switch, and also who I'm screening. So if I'm screening Tosh, most likely they're going to try and get under and jam me up. If I'm going to screen Sab, they're switching. So reading it in the first quarter of the game, seeing what happens and then going from there. But the occasional ghosts are always difficult to guard, so just mixing it up on them.
Thank you. For Coach, apologies if you already addressed this, but I wanted to ask you a little bit about Leo and her defensive assignment early on. Looked like she was picking up not only Chelsea Gray, but full court. And just curious, if that was kind of, or what conversations you had knowing that she hasn't really been around the team very much. And I have one for Tosh as well, too.
Yeah, look, I mean, Leo, we know Leo had such a big role for us last year. And Leo was, she said, I'm ready to go. That's good. This is what she did. It was easy to put her in and didn't miss a beat. Now she'll get more comfortable because she has had one practice with us and we can't go through everything there. But it just shows how important she is to our team. I joked around, it depends on matchups, isn't it? Sometimes Tash can go and guard full court and we've got Bet Gardner too. But we just love what she brings, just the defensive end. And we do want to make sure that we're increasing the offensive output as well. There's things we want to put her in once we have a few more days.
And for Tosh, I mean, we heard Stewie talk about, you calling your number. You talked about pride. There were about 3 consecutive plays. 2 of them you were able to draw a foul, and then you also get, you get a possession back for your team. When you have sparks and moments like that in a game, how do you think that helps fuel not just your play but your leadership style in those moments?
Yeah, I just try to be. I know I'm like a fiery leader as well, but I try to just lead by example. So if that means just giving a little bit more effort and pressuring Jackie full court and coming up with a steal, then that's just what I got to do. So those moments, the sparks, those moments where I just yell, I'm trying to get everyone involved. I'm trying to get our team up. I'm trying to get the crowd into it because it does shift the momentum of the game. So the more involved that we can get everybody, the better for us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all.